I'm done. I'm done.
Whew, what a dramatic intro. Honestly, I just felt like going for a swim and then I got this crazy idea. So, did I finally get fed up with living on a boat and this kind of uncomfortable and complicated lifestyle? Well, to be honest, I just got a much better opportunity and I just couldn't refuse it. My girlfriend and I got the offer to live in an amazing house in a beautiful location, and we just couldn't refuse the offer. So after a while, I also decided to sell my boat, because it's really fun having a boat when you live in it and when you use it a lot, but I just knew that if I had kept it, I would not be using it enough. And it's just a big financial and just psychological burden to have. So I just thought, I'm just gonna sell it, just be done with it and just move on to the next stage in my life. So it was not an easy decision because it's super fun to have your own place that you own. And I spent so much time fixing up my boat and I had so many amazing experiences living there. But in the end, I just decided I should let it go. If you came to this channel for my living on a boat videos, then don't worry. I'm going to make more videos about living on a boat and living off-grid and in other creative ways. And I'm going to share a lot of the things that I've learned while living on a boat in the future. After having lived in a normal house again for quite a while, it's really interesting to see how it feels now. Because I have lived for a few years on my boat, in a cabin with no heating and in other unusual ways. And it's interesting to see that basically after moving back into a completely normal house with all the modern conveniences, I don't really feel like I need them and I don't really feel like I was missing them before. So personally, I just really enjoy a more simple lifestyle and I kind of enjoy the challenge and I enjoy being a little bit uncomfortable and pushing myself to go further and to get used to any situation. So that's why I really like living in strange ways. But of course I have to be honest and I have to say that it's very convenient living in a big normal house. Because here I have a washing machine, I have running water, everything is just here and it's very simple. So in some ways I can more easily focus on other stuff. But then again, it's also really easy to get distracted living here because I have internet here, I have electricity here, I have everything I need. I have so many things I can do. So I can very easily just get stuck watching YouTube videos or get stuck doing something else unproductive. I also spent a lot more time on cleaning, of course, because the house is bigger. So I have to spend a lot more time washing 2 bathrooms. The kitchen is huge. Like it's just... But of course I can't complain because I live in a really nice house for very cheap. So after living in a boat and moving out of my boat again, I think there's a few key points that I would like to share with you about living on a boat that you should keep in mind if you're thinking about doing the same, or if you already live on a boat and you just would like some more input. So the number one concern and the number one issue living on a boat is always moisture. And especially because moisture can get really unhealthy if it turns into mold. So it's very important to keep the boat dry. And I've found out through trial and error that condensation, which happens very easily in a boat because it's not insulated very well, condensation happens because there's a lack of ventilation combined with heating. Now I've made a video just about avoiding condensation on my channel. So if you're interested in more in-depth information, you can check it out. But basically, in a boat, if you always have a heater running a little bit in the winter, in the summer you don't need to worry about condensation, but in the winter and if it's cold, if you always keep your heater running a little bit and also combine it with ventilation, then all the moisture is going to be caught in the warm air and transported out because of the ventilation. So if you do that, basically you can keep the boat very dry. And of course you have to make sure that there's no rooms or corners in the boat that are completely sealed, because then you might get condensation there instead. Other than condensation, of course, everything is more complicated. I had to bring all my drinking water from somewhere else because there's no drinking water in the harbor at all. And the toilet had to be emptied, so I had to take the toilet out of the boat, put it on my bike trailer and bike it to a normal toilet to empty it there, because it's not a good idea to dump it overboard. Washing clothes was difficult too, of course, because there's no washing machine on my boat. It doesn't fit at all. So I had to take them somewhere else and wash them there, and then bring them back again after they've dried. So it's a more complicated lifestyle, but on the other hand, the amount of money I saved by living on a boat, if I had to work to make that amount of money, I would have to work many more hours than I spent extra on doing these things. So I didn't spend much extra time on getting drinking water and washing clothes, but I would have had to work for many more hours if I had a job to pay for a normal house, which are insanely expensive in Norway. So all in all, I do kind of miss living on a boat a bit, to be honest. But it's also really nice to live in a big house together with my girlfriend. Next year we're going to have to move out of this house again, so then we're going to have to find some other solution. Maybe a bigger boat, maybe a van, maybe an off-grid cabin. We'll see. The thing is just that my boat was not big enough for 2 people to live in, and we really like living together, so we're going to have to find some solution together. Keep tuned for more videos about these kind of things, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe and follow along.